In 2008, following several years of infertility, a lot of testing, various treatments, my husband and I were blessed in that I became pregnant with twins. Great pregnancy until I got to about the 23rd, 24th week, began experiencing some issues. Ended up on bed rest in the 25th week, and my water unexpectedly broke the following week. And I was rushed to St. Vincent Hospital, and the decision was made to deliver the twins that evening. We made the decision to deliver, being that the risks against not delivering were so great. And that evening I gave birth to a little boy, Graydon Vincent Smith, weighing 2 pounds 5 ounces, and then my daughter Gianna Kayleen came in at 2 pounds. So they were both very tiny, very fragile, very frail, and they were whisked away immediately to the neonatal intensive care unit. The first day, 24 to 48 hours, they always call that the honeymoon stage. And essentially, because they're still working off of the mother's hormones, they thrive in that time frame. But then after that is when complications can begin to set in. I delivered on a Wednesday. By Friday evening, Graydon took a turn for the worst. His lungs were not as developed as Gianna's were. And we had to make the decision in the evening, the late hours of the night, to let him go. We had a team on their way up from Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, by the time they had gotten there, he had experienced a brain hemorrhage. And that was a very difficult decision, a very tough thing that we went through as a family. But yet, we had to get up and fight for our daughter every day, and be thankful for her and the fact that she was still alive and that we needed to give her every chance we could. Unfortunately, after about 2 weeks, she took a turn from the worst, was life-flighted to McGee's Hospital in Pittsburgh. Upon our arrival, they were bagging her, and they told us that they had lost her at 3 points during the flight, and they had been able to revive her, but that she was not doing well. And following her assessment with the team of doctors, they basically said there's one final option that we have. We can give her this dose of steroids. The complications and the risks are significant, various types of learning disabilities, physical disabilities, delays, etc. And there's no guarantee that it's going to work. It works for some babies, it doesn't work for all. So talking about being at your wit's end, so to speak, and just really, relying on the network of your family and your friends and your church, we were blessed to have that through the entire process. We prayed fervently. We decided to move forward with the steroids, and thankfully, she responded well. It became very apparent that a lot of other families were not in that same situation. We actually were going through our process at the same time another family was, and they ended up losing both twins. And the night that one of the babies had passed, the father was at work because he had to go back to work. His job was going to fire him and let him go. And we looked around and said, this isn't right. I mean, this is supposed to be the most joyous time of your life, and your child needs you more than anything at this point. We basically stepped up and said, there's a huge need here. And we began researching the types of organizations that were filling that void, and quickly found there weren't any. And at that point, we just really felt a calling and said, if not us, then who? And just at that point began reaching out, helping families. We then began planning fundraisers. In this past year, we've been almost 5 years at it now, we applied for our charitable giving status and did it ourselves. We were successful in our initial application, and we now to date have fundraised almost $200,000. Every dime that we raise goes directly back into supporting the families that are going through these difficult times. It's very overwhelming because it's not about us. It's about God working through us. It's very humbling when you look at so many people that have such great talents and great resources, and they're going unused. And it was really an experience that taught us how fragile life is. And it's overwhelming when you think, I've been on this earth for 30, 40, 50 years. What have I contributed? And here was a little boy who lived 52 hours, and look at the impact that he's having. And so I just encourage people, lead where you're at. And if you see an opportunity, by all means, grasp it and run with it. And never underestimate yourself and what God can do through you and the people that you have around you. And just keep your intentions in line and fill a need, fill a hole.